What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's your boy KB coming at you with a solo dolo episode of the podcast. It's episode number 463 on the first Victory Monday of 2022. That's right, the Birds win. They beat the Lions. We're going to dive into all the ins and outs of this game. We're going to dive into the Philly sweep of the Nationals, Bryce Harper showing love on the Instagram, and of course, the Philadelphia Union being the most consistent, most wonderful, most enjoyable team in the city right now as they are running away with the East Conference in MLS and are at the top of the freaking league, everybody. The Supporters Shield is coming home to Philly. Book it. It's happening. Don't make any quarrels about it. LAFC, you're done. You're done. Done. But before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at UndergroundPHI on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.com/UndergroundSportsPHI, Twitch.tv/UndergroundSportsPHI. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia.com for all of our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews as well. Let me know how you feel about this Eagles game, how you're feeling coming out of week one, how you're feeling about the Phils, the Union, all that good stuff. Leave it in the Apple Podcast reviews. And, of course, be a friend, tell a friend about the pod. Share the pod feed with your people. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel where you get full video episodes of every single Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast. This show, The Dan Russo Show, Eagles Enemies, Outside the Box with me and DJ, Streamer Season with me and Dylan, Top Bins with Matt and Dom, Get in the Hole with Steve and Ben, and of course the Loaded Box Fantasy Football Podcast. We're working on a schedule to get it on the YouTube for you guys, but don't worry, you can get it in podcast form. Subscribe to all of our podcasts, and smash that like button, ring the bell icon so you don't miss a single second of the content we're pushing out. And, of course, comment down below your thoughts on the Eagles game against the Lions, the Phillies right now, the Union right now, all that good stuff. Leave it in the comment section below. And big thank you to our sponsors who make this show happen. Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro Foot, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. You guys can go to tomahawkshades.com and use code USP for 25% off your order on sunglasses, blue light plus glasses, jewelry, everything in between. Tomahawkshades.com, code USP for 25% off your order at tomahawkshades.com. Kenwood Beer, the best merch drop of the year over at kenwoodbeer.com. The Kenny rope hats are available. I got mine over here in the studio right here. These things are beautiful. The Kenny rope hat right there. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. And, of course, It's a Bad Day to Be a Kenny shirt. All that good stuff. And the all-new and improved Kenny tracker. To see who's got Kenwood beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You got to be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. Yes, I'm very tired. Had to take the boy DJ to the airport early this morning, so we a little tired, but we're not working at the day job today, so that's a benefit. And, of course, the homies over at Bino. Go to BinoBoard.com. Check out the new hot, sensational tabletop game that should be at every tailgate you're going to. And it's World Cup season. Every week leading into the World Cup, Bino is dropping a brand new World Cup-inspired board over on their website. You guys can go to BinoBoard.com. That's BinoBoard.com. And use code BinoUSP for 10% off your order at BinoBoard.com. The Eagles, baby, they are back. They are making everybody feel feel things, they win 38-35. I was not able to watch the game live, so I will preface that here. I caught highlights, I caught interviews, I caught all that good stuff, recaps from people as I was in Washington, D.C., covering the Premier Lacrosse League semifinals, which you all should come out to Philadelphia this Sunday. Philadelphia Union Stadium, Subaru Park, PLL Championship game. Water Dogs, Chaos, bunch of Philly boys playing for a title at Subaru Park. Come on out. It's no Eagles game on. It's the best ticket in town, hottest ticket in town. I'll be there. DJ will be there. It's going to be a doozy of a time. So come on out to Subaru Park, watch Chaos and Water Dogs fight for a PLL championship. But the Eagles win 38-35 on Sunday. Jalen Hurts was sensational, just proving every single doubter wrong. The boy was running all over creation, 90 rushing yards, over 200 passing yards in this game for Jalen Hurts as well. Let's see here. Where are player stats? Jalen Hurts, 243 passing yards. Miles Sanders is back. I hope everybody and their brother parlayed every single Eagles running back scoring a touchdown along with Jalen Hurts, because that's exactly what happened. Miles Sanders scored his first touchdown since December 27, 2020. The streak is over. Miles Sanders, 13 rushing attempts for 96 yards and a touchdown, averaging 7.4 yards per carry. Jalen Hurts ran for 90 yards on 17 attempts. Kenneth Gainwell, 5 for 20. Boston Scott, 4 for 10. And then A.J. Brown setting an Eagles team record with 155 receiving yards on 10 receptions. It's the most receiving yards in a game in an Eagles debut. So congrats to Mr. 1K, always open, A.J. Brown, and he certainly was open. And I loved his humility after the game, too. I was watching the interview he had with John Clark and saying, like, it still was bothering him that he didn't score in this game, and he had 2 opportunities where he was down, like, towards the 5-yard line to go and score. So that stuck out to me, just like the type of competitor he is. And I've always loved A.J. Brown. Even when he was on the Titans, he's been one of my favorite players. So now that he's in an Eagles uniform, it's even sicker. He wears my number, so he's doing justice to number 11 as well. But I loved his humility, and I loved his just competitive drive and spirit, knowing that he had those opportunities to get in the end zone, and it was still on his mind even after the monster day that he had. So that just kind of shows the type of sicko competitor A.J. Brown is, and I'm happy that he's on our team. Jalen Hurts having to run 17 times is not ideal. You want to see him getting other targets involved as well, being that, receiving-wise in this game, A.J. Brown had 10 receptions, and then every other receiver that did have a catch combined for, quick math, 3 and 2 is 5, 5 and 2 is 7, and 1 is 8. Every other receiver combined had 8 receptions. Devontae Smith did not have a catch in this game. Quez Watkins did not have a catch in this game. So you want to see the offense get a little more fluid and a little more involved with all of the weapons that are at Jalen Hurts' disposal. But they found a way to win this game. It wasn't pretty. The Lions scored that first touchdown. DeAndre Swift runs for 51 yards on that opening drive. And then the Eagles put up 24 in the second, 14 in the third. And then you let the Lions stick around and hang around, put up 14. You get shut out in 2 out of the 4 quarters. So there's a lot to clean up defensively. I truly don't understand the Jonathan Gannon hype whatsoever. He's not, like, even dating back to last year. See, it puts my brain in a jumble thinking about Jonathan Gannon and everybody thinking he's going to be a head coach. The dude can barely be a defensive coordinator. Look at all this talent that this Eagles team has, and they still gave up 35 points. Jordan Davis played like 32% of the snaps yesterday. You went up in the draft. You moved up in the draft to go get Jordan Davis, and you clearly saw the Lions were running rampant all over you the entire game, and you didn't have Jordan Davis out on the field until it started to click to you. Like, oh, hey, we drafted this 300-pound behemoth. Let's put him in the game to stuff the run game of our opponent. Like, that made zero sense to me. Hassan Reddick, apparently, I was seeing tweets, they were misusing him. James Bradbury got his first interception, and it was a pick six, so that was pretty freaking cool. Shout out to the Giants. Appreciate you for giving him to us for essentially free. Darius Slay had his return to Detroit, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he's just hyped to be an Eagle. He said that shit felt great, and then Lane Johnson followed up walking in the tunnel saying that shit was terrible. You can't give up 35 points to the Lions. Yes, are the Lions a much improved team on offense? Sure. But Jared Goff's their quarterback. He's fine. He's not a world beater quarterback. Like, you're not playing against, Justin Herbert. You're not playing against, Derek Carr. Like, you're not playing against Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen. You're playing against Jared Goff, a guy who couldn't even score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be giving up yards. You shouldn't be giving up 35 points to a team that has him playing quarterback. That was frustrating. I know it was a lot of the run game too, but you're allowing that confidence to build and allowing Jared Goff to do things that you shouldn't be allowing him to do. Jonathan Gannon is just not a good defensive coordinator. I can't wait until he's gone. He's such a bad defensive coordinator that he's good, and a team should hire him today. That'd be fantastic, he's not the guy for me. He's not my cup of tea. I can't wait until he's gone, and I hope somebody does hire him as a head coach. That way he's out of the Eagles' wings. You don't have to worry about him, and you don't have to worry about the misuse of a defense anymore because you brought in all of these pieces. And yes, it's week one. Week one is very weird. I saw a tweet that I'm going to pull up here that, like, the 6 NFC playoff teams this year. Where is it? Let's see. I don't want to misquote this tweet. It was okay. So this comes from Dennis Selman 33 on the Twitter machine. For Eagles fans not happy with how convincing yesterday was, note that week 1 is weird. 2021 playoff teams playing against non-playoff teams went 1-5 across the league. The Eagles were the only such team to win. So that's, a benefit. Like, we're the only playoff team to win against a non-playoff team. Sure, yippee. Trying to pull up this other stat here. The defense, it's been an issue since last year. Slow starts, giving up early points, giving up opening drive points. At some point, you're going to have to realize that is also game planning, that's scheming, that's Jonathan Gannon, and something's got to change. And I'm so over the Jonathan Gannon whole experience. He's overrated as fuck, and I'm tired of him, quite frankly. And we shouldn't have been having a nail biter game against the Detroit Lions in week 1. That's what I'll leave that at. Nick Sirianni mucking it up with the Eagles fans, towards the end of the game was pretty cool. It's very Sirianni vibe, so I wasn't mad about that. A bunch of Eagles fans traveled out to Detroit, so he was rewarding them, celebrating with them. I thought that was pretty dope. But I do need to see Devontae Smith more involved. He's a former top 10 pick last year. Sure, is he not going to be the 1A option anymore with A.J. Brown here? Probably not, but there's enough ball movement to go around that we need to scheme him open more and give him more looks than 4 targets. Will it happen? I'm sure it will, but we need to get Devontae Smith more involved because it keeps the defense guessing. You don't know who Jalen's going to go to. That's what I need from this Eagles team going into Monday night next week against the Vikings. Is just getting more options available for Jalen Hurts. You can't have him run it. Like, I'm cool with Jalen Hurts running the ball. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's a weapon that not every team has the luxury of. Lamar Jackson can do it. Kyler Murray can do it. Tua can do it to an extent. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes can do it. Russell Wilson can do it. There's quarterbacks that have that ability to run the ball if need be, and Jalen Hurts is one of them, but you don't want him carrying the ball 17 times. 17 times is kind of crazy for your quarterback to be carrying the ball, so you want to be able to kind of let Jalen understand, like, yes, you can run the ball, but use it to open plays up. Another guys like Justin Fields, who we saw get a dub yesterday. You want to use Jalen Hurts' running ability and mobile ability to open up the passing lanes, extend plays. You don't want it to necessarily be always, when you're tucking the ball, you're running, you're going, You want Jalen Hurts to be able to extend plays with his legs in terms of opening up more opportunity in the pass game, extend guys getting out on their routes and stuff like that. But overall, a win is a win. I'll take it. The Eagles are 1-0. And I'm just saying, the last time the Eagles were 1-0 when I was in the Washington, D.C. area on Week 1 game day, 2017 happened. That's all I'm going to say. But, a win is a win. I'll take it. And, we're on to the Vikings now, which that game's going to be. It's going to be a dogfight. That game is going to be very tough. It's going to be pound for pound. You're going to have to be on your P's and Q's against that Vikings team who just won like 23-7 against the Packers. There's going to be a lot of things that this defense needs to clean up if they want to beat the Vikings. Especially, you got Justin Jefferson coming in. You got Kirk Coupons, who everybody's, stroking his ego. Dalvin Cook, who I don't know about Dalvin Cook this year. He's on my fantasy team. I love Dalvin, but switching to number 4, going back to his college number, is not a vibe for me. That is a terrible jersey analytics choice, to say the least. But the Eagles get that dub, and I like that the players after the game, for the most part, were not satisfied with the win. Even though they put up 38 points, you got to keep that foot on the gas pedal, and to get shut out in 2 out of 4 quarters against the Lions is also concerning on the offensive side of things, because I think defensively the Lions are a beatable team. Like, they're not world beaters on defense. They have pieces, but they're not a complete defense to where you should be getting shut out in multiple quarters, especially in Week 1. Like, you should be able to put points up on the board every single quarter. So hopefully that gets addressed, and Nick Sirianni lights a fire under Jonathan Gannon's ass and is like, hey, it's go time. It's put up or shut up if we want to be a successful team. There's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up, a lot of things that need to be worked on. But let's go around the NFC East, because the Cowboys, they're in some deep shit, ladies and gents. They lost big time to the Buccaneers. And by big time, I mean they lost Dak Prescott big time. He's going to need hand surgery. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Not that I ever want to see anybody get injured, so I hope Dak is okay. He is a very good quarterback. It's better when he's out there on the field for the league. But Dak's out 6 to 8 weeks, which means the Eagles will not see Dak Prescott in Week 6 on Sunday Night Football in Philadelphia. So that's something to kind of take into account. We'll see what happens there. But the Cowboys are the only team in the division to lose this week. The Giants pull out a sneaky 1-point win against the Titans. The Commanders beat the Jaguars, so Carson Wentz beats Doug Peterson. And then the Eagles beat the Lions. So, I mean, the big takeaway here, too, is, looking at the division. It's Week 1, so there's not going to be really any standing shakeups per se. But you look at the NFC East right now, standings wise. Eagles obviously have the most points for in the NFC East, so they are technically in first place by virtue of points scored, but point differential, which once baseball season comes to an end, which will be like mid-October, hopefully for the Phillies, it'll be November. We'll transition the NFC. We'll transition the NL East run differential to the NFC East points differential. But the Eagles scored 38 points. Washington scored 28. The Giants scored 21, and then the Cowboys scored a measly 3 points and lost 19-3 to Tampa Bay. So the Eagles are in first place, obviously. Other teams to win in the NFC this week: the Eagles, Commanders, Giants, Vikings, Bears, Saints, Buccaneers, and then nobody in the NFC West. We will see if the Seahawks can save the NFC West there, but the NFC West potentially going all 0-1. And then in the AFC, Dolphins and Bills win, Jets and Patriots lose, Pittsburgh and Baltimore and Cleveland all win, Cincinnati loses in overtime to the Steelers. Nobody in the AFC South has a win because the Texans and Colts tied and the Jaguars and Titans lost, so no wins in the AFC South. And then the Chargers and Chiefs win, and the Broncos still yet to play, and the Raiders lose. Also, shout out to the homie, shout out to the boy, Isaiah Pacheco, Vineland's own, scores his first touchdown on Sunday, leads the Kansas City Chiefs in rushing. That's the stuff we love to see. Couldn't be prouder of the homie. He's going to do big things for that Chiefs squad. And to see Patrick Mahomes run out and go get the ball for him after he threw it in excitement to get his first touchdown ball was electric. So super proud of Isaiah, and I know he's only going to keep chopping it up. And we'll be talking about that on the Dan Russo show this week as well, obviously during our alumni segment. So stay tuned for that. Maybe Isaiah makes an appearance at some point on that show as well. But let's get into the Phils. Go Birds, obviously. Shout out to the Birds. The Phils, they sweep the Nationals this weekend, which was big time. Needed that. Just keeping pace. And, you look at the landscape now of the wild card as you head into the, grittier parts of September here for the Phils. You're now at Miami starting on Tuesday, and then you're at Atlanta for the weekend, and then you come home for Toronto for 2, Atlanta for 4, and then the Phils are on the road the rest of the season after September 25th. But right now in the standings, wild card wise, the Phillies regain some ground in that wild card standing by sweeping the Nationals because the Padres lose some games. Phillies now a game and a half up on the Padres and are sitting in that second wild card spot. The Braves went on that hot streak, so the first wild card kind of seems out of reach now, as the Phillies are sitting 9 games back of the Atlanta Braves now with 7 to play against them. The Braves have lost 2 in a row, though, so that is enticing, to say the least. So hopefully the Braves can start losing some more games. So that way the script kind of flips and the Phillies get that home wild card series. But let's take a look at the NL East run differential, powered by the homies over at Pickup. You guys can go to playpickup.com, start playing the hottest headlines in sports. They got football props, they got college football props, baseball playoffs. I'm sure preseason NBA is up there, preseason NHL. You name the sport, they got it. Go to playpickup.com, start playing the hottest headlines in sports, rack up points on your fan profiles, cash them in for prizes on the Pickup Marketplace. It's free to play. All you got to do is sign up with your phone number, no email nonsense, none of that. Just boom, log in with your phone number. It's that simple. Go to playpickup.com now and start playing those headlines. Right now, the Atlanta Braves still leading the run differential category in the NL East at a plus 159. The New York Mets at a plus 140. They are back in first place in the NL East. The Phillies at a plus 73. I would love for the Phils to finish with a plus 100 something odd run differential. That'd be freaking amazing. The Marlins at minus 104. And then that stolen franchise Washington Nationals squad at a minus 206. And the Pittsburgh Pirates still lead in the way for the worst run differential in all of baseball at minus 214. And yet they are still not the worst team in baseball, as the Nationals are 49-92. The Oakland A's are 51-90. And then the Pittsburgh Pirates are sitting at 51-88. Ladies and gents, we need to manifest for your boy, for that preseason prop we put in on the Pirates that have the worst record in baseball. We need to manifest that, and we need to manifest the Chicago Bears this year having the worst record in the NFL. And manifest the Giants finishing with under 6.5 wins. Not off to a hot start for your boy to start the NFL props. But the Pirates one, it's right within reach. It's right within reach. And I'm hoping Aaron Nola gets about 3 or 4 more starts before the end of the year. Because I have a strikeouts prop on him that I kind of got screwed out of a ton of strikeouts from him yesterday because of the rain delay. But right now the Dodgers, they broke the 300 mark. They are at plus 310 in the run differential category. The Yankees at plus 206. And then the Houston Astros in the AL at plus 174. But they have the best record in the American League at 90-50. Them and the Dodgers, the only teams with 90 wins. The Mets not far behind. The Yankees and Braves not far behind. And going back and looking at Matt and I's preseason prediction for the Phillies wins, I had them at 89, I believe. And Matt had them at 85, I want to say. I'm going to pull it up here because I know we posted it on Instagram. Yes, Matt had 85 wins for the Phillies. Your boy had 89. They are currently sitting at 78, I believe is the number for the Phillies. Yes, 78 wins with, I want to see how many games are left. Let's see. Phillies have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 games left. 22 games left with 78 wins on the docket. They're obviously not going to win all of them, but if they were to, they'd win 100 games. I think Matt and I are both within reach of the number we set out for this Phillies team. 78 minus 85 for the quick math at home. Phillies need to win 7 more games for Matt's preseason prediction to hit. And for mine to hit, the Phillies need to win, quick math at home, they need to win 11 more games. They need to win half of their games, which I think is very, very possible for this team. So the Phillies, they sweep the Nationals. You know, it was huge. They needed it. They needed to surpass the Padres in the standings. And, you know, now they're on to the Marlins in the House of Horrors. That is Miami. They always have struggles there, so you got to overcome those struggles. Final series against the Marlins for the year. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to pull it up here because I've been tweeting it all year because I've been manifesting positivity. I've been keeping track of the Phillies' record against the Marlins all year long. All year long, baby. So here we go. Phillies are 10-6 against the Marlins this year. 3 more games against them down in Miami. Phillies could finish 13-6 against the Marlins, which, for the people counting at home, the Phillies' best record against the Marlins pull it up here. Hopefully it loads. Here we go. Phillies' best season all time against the Marlins came back in 2001 when they went 14-5 against them, just in terms of total wins. They went 11-2 against the Marlins in 1999 for best overall win-loss record differential there. They went 13-6 against the Marlins in 2006, 13-5 against the Marlins in 2010, 12-6 against the Marlins in 2011, and then 12-7 was the last time they won more than 11 games against the Marlins. As they currently sit at 10-6, they will finish above 500 against the Marlins for the first time since 2018 when they went 11-8 and went on a streak of 2 years in a row of going 11-8 there. But Just win the rest of these fucking games against the Marlins. I want 13-6 to be the record for 2022. That would be fantastic. And this is the most runs scored against the Marlins since 2020 when they put up 5.1, and then pre-pandemic 5.5 in 2019. But this is the lowest clip outside, 2021 they were terrible against the Marlins, put up 3.5 runs a game. But 4.3 outside of that is the lowest since 2016 when they put up 3.4 runs per game against the Marlins. But this is a good start to reversing the jinx of Joe Girardi against the Marlins, who all-time went 12-17 against them as Phillies manager. Which I think if they go 13-6, let's say 13 wins plus 12 wins, be 25 and 17 plus 6. They'd be 25-23 if they win the rest of the games against the Marlins this year, for the entire decade of 2020. So they go above 500 against the Marlins for the 2020s, which would be beautiful. And Rob Thompson would surpass Joe Girardi for wins against the Marlins in a single season that it took Joe Girardi, 2 years to be that bad against them. So the Phillies are 10-6 against the Marlins, doing the damn thing. They're 6-3 at home, 4-3 on the road. So that's another thing too. You have a chance to finish above 500 against the Marlins on the road this year, which you have not done since 2016 when the Phillies went 5-4 against the Marlins on the road. So you have an opportunity there for the first time in 6 years to finish above 500 on the road against the Miami Marlins. Best clip they had on the road was back in 2010 when they went 8-1 on the road against Miami. So, hey, do the damn thing against the Marlins and put a nice little bow on this season against them, and we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine. Pulling up the Union schedule here because the Union are duping all over everybody. That's right. Dupe-Adelphia. The Philadelphia Union, they win their match against Orlando on Saturday in big fashion, 5-1. Continue to just be absolutely dominant. LAFC loses to Dallas 2-1. So now looking at the table in MLS, the Union with 63 points, doing the damn thing. LAFC with 60, 3 matches to go. 3 matches to go, which is huge for this team. And looking at, we look at the schedule all the time for the Union now since, we're a big Union podcast and people need to start putting respect on our name about it, as people are considering Daniel Gazdag as potential MVP candidate, as he should. But looking at the standings here, we just did. I'm trying to look at the matches. So the Union, I'm guessing with 3 matches left, the Pachuca game does not count towards the standings. So that's something to take into account. The Union play on Saturday, 3:30 against Atlanta in Atlanta. So that's big time because Atlanta United are the 10th place team in the East. Not very good. And you should be able to wipe the floor with them, as you did just a few weeks ago, at home on August 31st, you beat Atlanta 4-1. So you should be able to take care of business against Atlanta. And then you go on the road against Charlotte, who are currently the 11th place team in the East. So another, on paper, good matchup. And then you get Toronto, who are currently the 13th place team in the East and don't look like they have a lot of life left. LAFC, on the other hand, have Minnesota on Tuesday, and Minnesota currently the 6th place team in the West. So we'll be scoreboard watching there because this is a game that LAFC this will be their 31st match, as the Union have already played their 31st match. Then they play Houston, which Houston, not very good. They are the 13th ranked team in the Western Conference. And then they get Portland on October 2nd, which Portland right now, the 5th place team in the West. And then the final match for LAFC is against Nashville on October 9th. And Nashville, the 4 seed right now, still chasing Dallas. They're only 3 points behind Dallas and kind of still in the mix, trying to move up the standings in the West. But on paper, the Union have a much more manageable schedule, much more, on paper, better opponents to be facing down the stretch. And the Supporters' Shield could be coming home. Philadelphia Union won it back in 2020. Let's do it again so people don't call it a Mickey Mouse Supporters' Shield, blah, 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 blah. And bring another trophy home to Philly. And then go into the playoffs hotter than ever, doing the damn thing, as the Union have 63 points now. It's crazy to think about how good they have gotten, from the first half to the second half in terms of offensive production. They are absolutely dominating in terms of goals scored versus goals against, because Andre Blake is the best fucking goalie on the planet. And right now, the Union have 68 goals for, 22 goals against. The most goals for in MLS outside of the Union are both LAFC and Austin with 60. And then Eastern Conference-wise, it's Montreal with 55. But nobody's sniffing the Union in terms of goals against. 22 is just insane. The next closest in the East is 33 for Columbus. And then in all of MLS, it's 33 for Columbus. That's crazy. I just want this Union team to win the Supporters' Shield, put some respect on their name. MLS's official account out there tweeting that the Union are running away with the East, which they are. They're 10 points up on Montreal. And the Supporters' Shield has a good shot to come home to Philly because of LAFC's schedule and just the way that this Union team are playing right now. They're playing out of their minds. They put up points. They play incredible defense. Jim Curtin is the best coach in Philadelphia. And this team, like we say, week in and week out, they are the epitome of consistency. They know what to do. When the lights come on, the stars shine bright, and they do the damn thing. And this team has a real opportunity to go out and win a championship this year, which would be absolutely electric. Best believe I'm trying to get to a Union game as soon as lacrosse season is done. And, I know I don't have that many more opportunities left to go in terms of regular season, but they did clinch a home playoff game. Would be electric to go to a playoff game. But I know we got the Pachuca match. We got Toronto. So, there's opportunity still. That Toronto game might be looking kind of nice. October 9th, I think, is a Saturday. No, that's a Sunday. October 9th is a Sunday because I have a wedding on October 7th. So October 9th is a Sunday. Do the Eagles play that day? That's the real question. 2:30 p.m. start. Let's see if we can get the boys to Philadelphia on October 9th. Schedule. October 9th. The Eagles are on the road, so that's perfect. Eagles are on the road at 4:25. That seems very likely that I make my way to Subaru Park for my first Union game, because I'll have been to Subaru Park as media for the PLL 3 times before I catch an actual Union match, which is crazy to think about. But the Union are absolutely crushing it. Keep duping it up, boys. Just keep duping it up. Keep putting the league on notice. Let them know we're not going anywhere. We're here to stay. And I'm excited for this team so much. Like, this team's going to wreak havoc in the playoffs, and I can't wait for it. So let's go Union. Let's go Phils. Let's go Eagles. And make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.com/UndergroundSportsPHI, Twitch.tv/UndergroundSportsPHI. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all of our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It helps more people find the show, helps more people get interacting with the show, and that's what we want. We want the underground community to be fluid, we want it to be fun, and we want it to be just a space where everybody can just come through to the underground and talk about their favorite Philly sports. So subscribe to the podcast feed. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, because we're trying to do the same thing, but on YouTube. Search Underground Sports Philadelphia. You get full video episodes of every podcast on our network. That's Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's Outside the Box, Streamer Season, Top Bins, Get in the Hole, Loaded Box, The Dan Russo Show, and Eagles Enemies, all on our YouTube channel. You don't want to miss any of that content. It's super electric, spicy goodness. So go to YouTube, search Underground Sports Philadelphia. We don't get a custom link until we get to 1,000 subscribers. So we need you to be a friend and tell a friend and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Smash that like button. Ring the bell icon so you don't miss a single second of the content. Comment down below your thoughts on the Eagles, the Phillies, the Union, the Sixers, the Flyers, the Wings, whatever it may be. Your Survivor predictions, because you know we're going to be talking Survivor this coming week. Preseason, baby. Preseason. And be a friend, tell a friend. Share the YouTube channel with your people. Big thank you to our sponsors. Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro Foot, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland, Tomahawk Shades, Pickup, Kenwood Beer, and Bino Board. All of their info is in the description on YouTube and linked in the show notes on audio. This has been episode number 463 of Victory Monday, the first of many in 2022-2023 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Until next time, I'm getting the heck out of here and signing off. Peace.